Hello, everyone. Tonight I'm back again. Hope everyone had a great day today. My day did not start out so great. I was not feeling so well, feeling a little bit better than what I was. Still not so great. But still, like, share, subscribe to my channel, um, all that good stuff. Basically, this topic today that I had originally chosen to do was spiritual gifts. So, I was actually in the process of researching and trying to find what I could find on what they say all that is spiritual gifts. And some of them, there's like 64 is the longest list that I had found. And some of them, as I'm reading them, I'm like, really? That's a gift? But, I don't know. I just figured, some of them I'm like, don't everybody have that? But maybe not. So, anyway, what happened was I had this dream last night. And the dream that I had last night was of my granddaughter running and hiding. And she just continuously kept running and hiding. So I didn't sleep well at all last night. And then with my stomach issues, I woke me up as well too. But I say that to say this. We have to pay attention to who we allow to be around our children. We have to pay attention to who we allow to touch or hold our children. We need to pay attention to how our children react around certain people. And I'm starting it off with this because that kind of goes into with the whole thing of spiritual gifts, intuition. I believe that we are more intuitive when we come into this earth than as we get older. Unless, for some reason, we don't have all the elements that have the potential to block our intuition. I mean, sometimes we block our own intuition, not necessarily block it, but just ignore it. I just feel like as we get older, the environment and that we live in, our surroundings, the media, I'm sorry, different aspects of our lives that sometimes our intuition gets blocked or eventually gets blocked. And I believe it's because of those reasons. And I feel like babies are more intuitive than what we are. And for that reason, I believe because they are freshly coming into the world. Yes, there may be some things that they have forgotten before they came entered into the womb. I still believe that when they enter into the womb, to begin the growth of the human process, that they still have a lot of that information. And like I said, I just feel like it's the environment and our surroundings that we lose some of that. And at the birth, I believe we lose some of that as well. But I still believe that babies are more in tune of where they came from spiritually before they came into human existence, and communicate more with their higher selves and spiritual guides than what we do as we get older. Because as we get older, we are told, say, we have an invisible friend, is what they call it. Um, at some point, we're told that we're too old to be having invisible friends, or um, we have a great imagination, as if to say, we don't have the ability to speak to our higher selves or our spiritual guides, which isn't true. Um, which a lot of us know this, some people call your spiritual guides angels, or which there are angels, but that's a whole nother subject. But we have to be aware of our, we have to get back to using our discernment, our intuition about things in lives. Um, we need to be more open to that, because we're in spiritual warfare before we come into a human form. We know about this, but somehow in the process of when we um, enter into this human form, I feel like we forget some of these things being in spiritual warfare. And the crazy thing about that is, in anybody that's religious, they talk about spiritual warfare all the time. But I think the problem is people look at that as the spiritual warfare is in the 3D, and just because the spiritual warfare that is going on in the 5D, like, it can't touch us, which it really can. And we have to be more cautious. We have to, protect ourselves from the spiritual warfare in the 5D. And yeah, we have spiritual warfare in 3D, because, you got Christians that hate Muslims because they're Muslims and not Christians, and, that crazy stuff, and Christians that hate Christians, and because of they're not the same, because they're not Catholic or whatever. I mean, it just makes no sense. And and they're not necessarily physically fighting, but at the same aspect, they will attack each other because, oh, well, that's not right. Yeah, who cares? Put all the books together, read them all together. Guess what? Y'all are all coming up with the same story. I'm just saying. But nobody wants to look at it that way. There's only one creator. I don't care what religion you believe in. Put them all together. It's all the same God still. So, anyway, but with that being said, the crazy thing about that is my daughter had told me something. And so when I had this dream, I feel like I don't know if it's in the spiritual aspect or in the 3D. We have to be more cautious, and we have to not only protect ourselves, but we have to protect our children, especially in the 3D. We have to learn how to protect ourselves as well in the 5D, so that way we could teach our children how to protect themselves in the 5D. That is going to be a serious issue. I mean, it already is an issue. The problem is that so many of us have lost it, or so many of us are so afraid to speak up and talk about this reality that um, a lot of people are damaged because of it and having to go through serious, extensive healing um, because we didn't know how to protect ourselves. We did not know what we were supposed to do. We were told to stay silent. We were told to never speak of things. Um, we were told to ignore it. I mean, just different aspects of that, and that causes a lot of problems. I'm a very creative person. My girls are very creative as well, and I say that because I've always have been able to interpret dreams. Um, whenever I've been around somebody and they're like, "Oh, I had this dream," da da da, I usually walk away or I tune it out completely. I don't want to hear your dream. That's I'm not gonna go there, you know. But one thing I've always done with my girls, whenever they've had a dream, whether they felt like it was a bad dream, I'd always tell me what the dream was about. I'd always encourage them to tell me, and and one of my girls, she had told me she had this dream, and this is probably several months ago, and I told her to tell me what the dream was about, and she told me what the dream was about, and told her to send it to me, type it up, send it to me. I told her I'd look at it when I got to work, and I tell her what it meant. So she sends it to me, and I send it back to her, and I'm like, "Who is this about? Because this isn't about you." And I mean, I just knew it wasn't about her, and I told her, I said, and whatever this is, she was like, and I feel like this isn't one of your sisters. So, and she explained it to me. And I interpreted it for her. I didn't ever ask her for feedback. That wasn't my place. Um, I've always been like that with my girls. They have a dream, they come to me about a dream. I'm going to tell them what it means. It's just like my oldest daughter, we had talked about that as well, and she says she remembers she had a dream that her sister had died, her the one that's right up underneath her, and she and I asked her to tell me what the dream was, and she told me, and I interpreted it for her. I explained to her. I said it's not in the aspect of what you are thinking. It's in the aspect of who you know her as now is about to die, and a new her is about to step forward. And, you know, I love that, my girls love each other this way so much. She literally every night, I want to say for about 2 months, when she would wake up, she would go in and go check on her sister to make sure she was okay. Um, but, because I didn't understand or remember, who I was. And in some things I did know, but I had become afraid of them because I was made afraid by being told I wasn't allowed to talk about it or tell anyone. So that made me afraid. So for years, I haven't. Um, a lot of people don't know this about me. You know, um, you have to be really close to me and have to really care about you. So, there's a few close people that have known this about me. And it's just like somebody, is pretty close to me had had a dream and, you know, asked them to tell me what their dream was and, send it to me. Well, they told me what the dream was. So on my way to work, I'm contemplating like this is just running over my head over and over again. Um, of what and trying to interpretate the dream, and the problem was I kept trying to change the interpretation on the way, because I was actually in the dream. So I was trying to change the interpretation, and no matter how much I tried to change it, the result always ended up the same. So, and I even had pulled out some tarot cards, and I actually did a reading for it to see, and yeah, it gave me confirmation on the same thing, on exactly how I interpreted the dream. And then I had reached out um, to my mentor. She wasn't my mentor at the time. I was watching one of her live videos, and uh, so crazy because her live also interpreted the same thing. Show me that she's always picked up on my energy whenever I come on her videos, which that's fine. Um, and she was saying how we could do that, and I was explaining to her that I had just interpreted someone's dreams, and I used the tarots as a confirmation, and um, somebody was like, You interpret dreams? Oh, I got quiet. I didn't say anything else the rest of her life. And it's so funny because I seen her look at me, and I seen the look on my mentor's face like, really, you're really not gonna. She knew I wasn't gonna answer. But I say this, we need to get back in touch with our divine gifts. And we need to tune up. Tune up. It's time to tune up. It's time to get up. It's time to get these gears to moving. Um, we got work to do, people. There's a reason why we have these divine gifts. There's work we're supposed to be doing here. We need to wake up and pay attention and get busy on what it is that we're supposed to be doing. We need to quit being selfish and look at the bigger picture and do what it is that we need to do. Whatever your divine gift, it's whether it's healing, um, your intuition, your foresight, whatever it may be, you need to start fine tuning it. You need to um, going within and going back to remember on how to use that. Because believe it or not, as a whole, individually, we have our jobs to do. And as a whole, we're needed. We're going to have to work together, people. The spiritual warfare is not over. We got a lot of work to do. Um, because not only is it the adults that have been attacked, but there are children are being attacked on a daily basis. I mean, maybe some of you guys are fine with that, but I'm not. That's why I'm here doing these videos. This is not me. I'm not comfortable doing this. I'm the one, I'd rather be in the background. Put me in the very back. I'm sure, so make sure everybody in front of me is taller than me or the same height. I don't want to be seen. That's, I don't care about being seen. Just let me do the work. That's me. That's who I am. But I've been told I have to do this. Well, I don't have to. I can make a choice to not to. But eventually I'm going to get trapped to do what it is I'm supposed to be doing. So basically, I mean, you guys can keep ignoring it, what it is you're supposed to be doing, but eventually you'll get dragged. I'm tired of getting dragged. I'm 44, you guys. I've been getting dragged all my life because I'm hard headed, I'm rebellious, I'm stubborn. I want to do things my way. Because if your way doesn't make sense, I don't want to do it. I'm just saying. So, you guys, we got to get it together. Talk to you some other time. Have a wonderful night. I'm going to bed. It's been a long day for me. Take care. Love y'all.